Ambassador Kritenbrink, and now we are going to go into the Q&A session. And I'd like to remind everyone again, because we want to get as many people to ask questions as possible. So we're going to ask for your cooperation to please ask a direct question, and then please don't make a long statement or speech, because we really want to hear your question. Thưa quý vị, và sau đây xin quý vị lên hai bên của hội trường có hai cái microphone set up, và quý vị có thể xếp hàng bắt đầu từ lúc này. Ở hai bên đều được, chúng tôi sẽ luân phiên, chúng tôi sẽ hỏi một bên này trước, rồi chúng tôi bên này, rồi chúng tôi đi đến coi như là thay phiên nhau giữa hai bên để mà quý vị đặt câu hỏi. Nhưng mà chúng tôi cũng xin lặp lại cái yêu cầu của ban tổ chức là xin được cái sự hợp tác của quý vị, đó là xin quý vị đặt thẳng câu hỏi với ông đại sứ hoặc là các vị dân biểu, và xin quý vị tránh không đọc những diễn văn hay là những lời phát biểu dài, vì đó là nó sẽ làm mất đi cái thời gian mà chúng ta có thể cho đồng hương ở đây đặt câu hỏi. Chúng tôi rất là muốn cái thời gian còn lại là càng được nhiều câu hỏi từ quý vị càng tốt. Xin quý vị hợp tác cho. Sau đây chúng tôi sẽ bắt đầu. We'd like to begin the Q&A on this side. Are you ready? Oh. So, so we'll have take a question first on this side, and we'll go to this side, and we'll go back and forth. Your question, sir.
My name is Chương. I am a novelist and also a TV host. Mr. Ambassador, I am concerned about the downtown village incident that happened a few months ago. I believe that you already witnessed that, and that is a grave violation of human rights, where the local government used force, military force, and 200 police officers to surround the village and kill the most respected elder of the village in a brutal way. They shot him 3 times and then cut off.
Sir, your question. Please state your question.
Yeah, would you please apply the Manisky law to the incident so that we can cover the issue? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for your question. We have followed very closely the incident in Lowenthal.
Chúng tôi theo dõi rất sát cái tình hình như anh vừa trình bày.
We've expressed our concerns publicly and privately regarding our deep regret over the loss of life in the village.
Rất tiếc là chúng tôi đã trình bày những cái vấn đề khi mà một người đã bị thiệt mạng trong cái vụ này.
And we've called on people on all sides to resolve this long-standing dispute in Lowenthal village peacefully and in accordance with the law.
Kêu gọi tất cả các bên hãy giải quyết vấn đề này hòa bình.
We think it was most regretful that there was loss of life on both sides.
Và lần này rất tiếc là bị thiệt mạng của cả hai phía.
But I hear your concerns, and I can guarantee you that we'll continue to follow the issue closely and to express our concerns and views.
Tôi đã nghe quan tâm của quý vị phải tiếp tục làm việc trên vấn đề này.
And I appreciate you raising it.
Cảm ơn câu hỏi.
And what's your question on this side?
Hi, my name is Yung Tran. I'm the Northern America representative of Vietnam. My view, as well as our organization view, is that the
câu hỏi của anh Dũng Trần đến từ đại diện của bên phía đảng
and
Việt
the
Tân.
United States should be based on the benefit and interests of both people, Vietnamese people and American people. With that in mind, I'd like to ask for you to do 3 things: a member of Congress, as well as the embassy of the United States of Vietnam. Number one is that to support the voice of conscience. First of all, you have done that a lot. Congressman Lowenthal, Congressman Correa, and Congressman Porter, as well as Mr. Rouda. And thank you for signing the letter regarding Vietnam. I would like to ask you to sponsor those people.
Could you state your question, please? Just state your question.
Actually, I have requests.
No.
If I may. Okay, so
We only take question always, so you have a question, I might have to ask you to cut it short.
My question is that will you be able to integrate the human rights agenda into the overall relationship between Vietnam and the U.S., such as incorporate legal teaching in the Thai and education program?
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your questions. Here's what I would say. We have already integrated our human rights agenda fully into the bilateral relationship, as I mentioned in my remarks. I think it's clear that the U.S.-Vietnam partnership can only reach its full potential once human rights are fully respected in Vietnam. We'll continue to advocate both for individual cases and for broader systemic reforms in Vietnam that will benefit Vietnam and the Vietnamese people. I should mention in my remarks as well, we do engage regularly on both of those issues, both systemic reforms we'd like to see happen and also advocate on behalf of individual activists, including many of whom who have been arrested and jailed, and we've had some success as being, in having some of those activists released. It's unfortunate that they haven't been. It's unfortunate that they were detained in the first place. It's unfortunate that they weren't allowed to be released in Vietnam, but we're delighted to report that several of them have been released to the United States.
Hy vọng trả lời câu hỏi là cái chính sách đối ngoại của Hoa Kỳ rõ ràng là đã đang kết cái vấn đề mà tranh đấu cho nhân quyền vào trong những cái vấn đề quyền lợi khác của nước Mỹ vào. Ông muốn nói tới ngay cả những cái trường hợp cá nhân cũng như trường hợp của các nhóm hội đoàn ở trong nước. Cái việc này chính phủ Hoa Kỳ vẫn tiếp tục tạo áp lực lên phía Việt Nam.
We'll go to a question on this side.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Ambassador. My name is Han Thai Tang. I am with the Cao Dai religion. I would like to call your attention to the fact that the current...
Ma'am, like I said, please go straight to your
very,
question.
very short.
No. Please go straight to your question.
Yes. Okay. In 1978, the government disbanded the Cao Dai Church. In 1997, it created the sect to replace the original Cao Dai religion. In 1997, the government took the
again.
Yes, I will.
No, you need to go straight to the. Could you please hand the mic back and on the stand, and please not hold it. Please put the mic back on the stand. Yes. And please go straight to your question. I'm really sorry, everyone, because
very short. Okay. Actually, I want to raise my voice to the victim of the adherent, the Cao Dai adherent. Okay, many of them of such criminal and atrocious acts have requested police investigation and filed civil lawsuit against the perpetrator. Okay, so far the police have not and have ignored the request, and the people could have stayed mum. So I respectfully ask the ambassador that your office bring this lawsuit and investigation request to the attention of the Vietnamese government.
Okay,
indicating that I will
have I'm sorry, you don't have to stop right there. We'll go to the question over here. And the ambassador will respond, and then we'll go to the question over here.
First of all, thank you very much for raising your concerns. I hear you loud and clear, and we track very closely the challenges that our friends in the contact.
Thank you, sir. I would like to present you this
booklet, please. Yes, and can I just mention one thing both for you, ma'am? I'd be happy to take it. My colleague, Sharon Fitzgerald, is here from the State Department as well. And maybe just in terms of efficiency, if you have anything that you'd like to pass, if there's a petition or a letter or further details, if you can pass it to Sharon, I will be sure to take it back with me to Vietnam and to Washington, D.C. Sharon is our senior Vietnam desk officer at the State Department. She works on these issues every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. We'll go to a question over here.
Your Honorable, my name is Jason Fu, and last year Vietnam adopted a new labor code, and among other things, giving Vietnamese workers the right to form their own independent organization is a very significant change. And as a Vietnamese American, I'm concerned about the human rights situation in Vietnam, and giving this right will help the Vietnamese to improve their workers' rights as well as human rights. My question is, what is your assessment of this change in the labor code, and what is the U.S. doing to help Vietnam Vietnamese worker to actually have this one.
Thank you very much. We agree with you. We think, nice to see you. We think that the passage of the new labor code is a very positive development, and it's something that we work closely with the government of Vietnam over many years.
Chúng tôi tiếp tục làm việc đối với phía Việt Nam dựa trên những gì mà họ đã thông qua về những cái quy định mới này như ông trình bày.
I had the honor of meeting with the Minister of Labor just a couple months ago to talk about the new law.
Cách đây 2 tháng tôi đã gặp Bộ trưởng Lao động và đã nói về luật mới.
And I think our assessment would be one passage of the law is a great step.
Và có một điều khoản trong cái đạo luật này được.
Now I think our focus needs to be on implementation. The law will only be as good as its implementation.
Cái luật nó chỉ có thể tốt khi mà mọi người đều thực hành theo đúng.
But we think it's quite a positive development, and I agree it has the potential to have a great positive impact on the lives of ordinary Vietnamese citizens.
Và tôi tin tưởng là cái đạo luật này có gây ảnh hưởng tốt cho những người dân bình thường ở Việt Nam.
So our focus will be on implementation.
Và chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. We'll go to your question over here.
Since the incident of my friend's husband being detained, Mr. Michael Nguyen, I've been actually scared to visit Vietnam, my home country. I've not gone back since '75, but is there any way that, since they're enjoying all of our help monetarily, economically, is there any way we can put a tariff or possibly some sort of boycott, or even with the resorts, can we tax the resorts so that some of that money can go to help advocate for prisoners who are detained unfairly with an unfair trial, with a staged trial, that they have no way of winning?
Thank you for your comments. As I mentioned in my remarks, our top priority remains clear, and we continue to work very hard to do everything we can to bring Michael Nguyen home.
Câu hỏi của bạn đặt ra là có cách nào mà chính phủ Hoa Kỳ đặt thuế lên những cái khu vực chẳng hạn như các du lịch để mà dùng cái số tiền đó hỗ trợ cho các tù nhân lương tâm hay là tù nhân ở trong Việt Nam. Ông chỉ trả lời là sẽ tiếp tục làm việc trên những cái vấn đề đó.
Of course, there are many Americans who travel regularly to Vietnam, including many Vietnamese Americans. Many Americans reside in Vietnam. But obviously, we will continue to advocate aggressively on behalf of our citizens, including anyone like Michael, who unfortunately has encountered this very unfortunate situation. But I can guarantee you, we will do everything possible to bring him home.
Tôi cố gắng làm bằng mọi cách để mà có thể đưa ông trong trường hợp này là ông Michael trở về nhà và vẫn tiếp tục làm việc trên vấn đề này.
Hello, Ambassador Daniel Kritenbrink. My name is Chelsea Ho. Today I am representing Boat People SOS from Orange County, California. Our national headquarters is in Washington, D.C. metro area. We are mainly concerned with 2 issues that we are wondering if you would be able to bring to the attention of the Vietnamese government. One regards a travel ban against priests that we took and priests that Vietnam. There are 2 Catholic priests who have denounced the Red Flag associations. And the second issue regards the prompt investigation for the Vietnamese police to investigate all incidents regarding the Red Flag associations. Will these 2 issues be something that you can discuss with the Vietnamese government in future conversations?
Well, Chelsea, thank you very much. I'd be happy to do that. Do you have anything further on these issues that you could pass to me or my colleague Sharon?
Sure.
If you could do that, I'd be happy to take a look at that. I'd be happy to raise that with the government.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm well aware of your organization. I've met with the head of Boat People SOS in Washington, D.C. previously. I appreciate your coming here today. Thank you.
Xin cảm ơn cho phòng đại diện cho tổ chức thuyền nhân SOS ở tại thủ đô Washington.
Hello, Mr. Ambassador. My name is Dr. Ho from United Council on Vietnamese Overseas and Homeland, and also Federation of Vietnamese American Community in USA. Welcome to California and Saigon.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I had a lot of issues. I will email you directly and
Okay.
to Scott Busby. But two issues I want to share with you today briefly. The first one is last night we talked to Interfaith Council in Vietnam, and they told me, now communities increase harassment with dictatorial coffee and the most relevant content. So my request, when you go back to Vietnam, you visit Interfaith Council and listen to what they say. I email you the problem, so you don't have to spend time here. The second number is about Mr. Lowenthal. With the case, of homicide activist.
Which case?
Lowenthal. Yeah. He escaped to United States, and then we tried, Congressman Lowenthal, Correa, and Rouda tried to send a letter to State Department and ICE, try to get help him. But finally, they sent him back to Vietnam. The family told me he got a very bad treat in Vietnam. So please follow the case, visit him, and then you can take back to the congressman and us. Because this case, it should be he get asylum. So briefly, I see you tonight. I can talk more about that. But thank you for your time. And also thank you, Congressman Lowenthal, Correa, Rouda. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I look forward to hearing more about those issues and figuring out how we can work together on them. Thank you very much.
Again, I appreciate comments from the audience, but if we keep comments long, we're not going to be able to take all the questions that have been lined up. So again, please ask the right question. We'll go to this side.
Good morning, Dr. and then thank you so much. My name is Julie Dickham with OC Autism. I thank you for giving us an opportunity to get together. There's so many leaders in the community and the voices here. How do you continue this dialogue and give us another opportunity to continue to give our input as immigrants, as travelers to Vietnam, who have all these insights in our respective fields and programs?
Well, thank you for that. I look forward to continuing the dialogue. I think we have many options. I hear regularly from the members of Congress who are here with us today, and that's probably the most effective channel because they're your representatives, and if I can say so, they do an outstanding job representing your interests and making those interests very clear to me and my colleagues. We work incredibly closely on many matters related to Vietnam, including the Michael Wynn case, and that's probably the best channel. But you're more than welcome to reach out to me and to my colleagues, including Sharon in the State Department as well. But we value your input, and it's why I'm here today. Thank you very much.
Có những đường lối đấu tranh quan trọng mà đặc biệt là các vị đại diện là đường lối trực tiếp để mà đưa ra những cái nguyện vọng mối quan tâm trực tiếp đối với tôi, và tôi sẽ đưa những cái vấn đề này về cho nhà cầm quyền Việt Nam, và đó là những điều mà tôi nghĩ rằng sẽ tiếp tục tranh đấu, cũng như tất cả những gì mà quý vị muốn để tình nguyện thư, tôi có người đại diện mà quý vị có thể trao cho người đó.
Over here.
That question.
Mr. Ambassador, my name is Dai Pham. I'm one of the 20 last prisoners detained in Vietnamese communist hard labor concentration camps in Vietnam after the fall of Saigon in 1975. My biggest concern is my biggest wish is would you please submit to the American government to put more pressure, harder and harder on the Vietnamese Communist Party so that they will have to release all concerns prisoners that have detained illegally in Vietnam. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm happy to work with you on that and other members of the community. As I mentioned, our advocacy on human rights issues is focused both on individual cases, including many prisoners of conscience that you mentioned, and also on a broader systemic reform. I carry with me in my wallet a card on human rights every day, and it has priorities both in terms of policy issues and individual cases, and I'm happy to continue to work with you on that.
Không phải câu hỏi mà nó là cái tình nguyện hơn. Ông chỉ muốn là ông đại sứ về Việt Nam thì phải gia tăng cái việc áp dụng đối với nhà cầm quyền Việt Nam Cộng sản. Ông nói lúc nào trong túi của tôi cũng mang theo một cái tấm thẻ, trong đó nói về nhân quyền là như thế nào, để chúng tôi luôn nhắc nhở cho tôi biết được cái ưu tiên hàng đầu tôi phải tranh đấu như thế nào cho Việt Nam.
Is it afternoon yet? Are you warmed up yet? I have a hard question for you. Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Mai Trung, and esteemed Congresspeople in a very auspicious gathering. I have a really hard question for you, Ambassador. I am of the age where I left Vietnam as a child and as a young physician with Project Vietnam Foundation, whose founder is here, Dr. Quinn Pugh. I went to Vietnam and I saw the effects of Agent Orange and all the things that war does to people. I'm now a very proud American, and I serve my Vietnamese community in the capacity of hospice and home visiting physician. I met the murder recently and talked about this. One of the things that I've seen amongst our seniors is we have so much trauma that has not been dealt with. I'm going to hold you accountable to your presentation and your point of your that you made. In one hand, you almost say with pride that we spent over $110 million to clean up the undetonated landmines in Agent Orange. And in the same breath, you say that in Vietnam, Americans are so popular. Let us not forget the ravages of war. Let us not forget that we continue to recycle this cycle of wars in other countries, Afghanistan, Iran, you name it, Iraq.
Your question, please.
So my question to you is, what do you, and you also bragged about the Fulbright University. I'm getting there, Paul. Give me a second. So the youth is our future. So when the youth come to you and hold you accountable to the ravages we've done to Vietnam, my birth country, and I'm stuck because I'm kind of...
Please go straight to your question.
How do you gain their trust? Because we are so proud in this Trump administration to talk about all the horrible things that Vietnam is doing, but we as a country are caging children south of the border, separating families, and causing undue trauma to all kinds of ethnic minority groups in this country. Thank you so much.
She want to make a statement. A lot of people just want to make a statement. They don't have a question.
Thank you for your question.
No question at all.
Look, just give you a very candid answer. This is just who I am. I can't do anything about the past. I can't. The past is tragic and it's painful, and many of you in this room know a lot more about that than I do. All I know is to try to do what we can to make it better, and that's what we do every day. So how do we try to build trust in Vietnam? We try to build it in every interaction we have with Vietnamese citizens. We try to build trust by being faithful to our values, by being who we say we are. Our government has made a commitment to try to overcome and to heal some of the wounds of war in Vietnam through the projects that I mentioned. My own candid belief is that work, probably more than anything we've done over the last several decades, has done more to build trust in Vietnam than anything else. Does it overcome everything? Does it make up for everything? I think you know the answer to that. But all we can do is every day do the best that we can to try to invest in our shared future together. So I want to make clear, when we engage with Vietnam, we're focused primarily on the future, and the future we want to build together. But we know to do that, we have to deal responsibly with the issues of the past. We do it by trying to account for our missing service crew members. We do it by trying to, as I mentioned, clean up dioxin and unexploded bombs, treat people with disabilities. And you know, there are many efforts here at home as well to deal with those issues. But that's the best answer that I can give you. That's what we're focused on. I know that we've made progress. I know that reconciliation takes place every day. But it's a long-term process. And there are no perfect answers or solutions. And my job wasn't to come here to try to brag or to gloss over any challenges that we may have. My job here today is to try to explain in an open, honest, transparent way. This is what we're trying to achieve. This is where we make progress in Vietnam. This is where we continue to have challenges. But I appreciate your question. I hear you. That's my answer to what we're trying to achieve. Thank you.
Câu hỏi như vấn đề của bác sĩ Mai Phương đặt ra là cái sự mâu thuẫn. Một mặt thì ông đại sứ nói rằng là tranh đấu cho nhân quyền, mặt khác thì vẫn tiếp tục hỗ trợ tiền của đổ vào đây cũng như xây dựng trường học. Làm thế nào để làm được cái điều đó? Ông đại sứ nói rằng chuyện quá khứ là chuyện quá khứ, chúng ta không thể làm được gì ở chuyện quá khứ cả. Câu hỏi đặt ra làm thế nào để xây dựng niềm tin giữa những người trong nước, và từ đó làm thế nào để hàn gắn cái vết thương từ chiến tranh. Tất cả những điều này cần phải xây dựng một tương lai với cái sự đối tác cần thiết và ông vẫn phải tiếp tục làm việc trên những vấn đề khó khăn này.
What's your question over here?
Good morning, Khai Dao from the Youth Forums. As refugees, we all here are concerned about the human rights issues. You said you raised that issue and meet the Vietnamese activists every day in Vietnam, and the government did not create any problem for you. I myself feel for Michael Rouda, his wife, and his children. But you said this year also is the 25th anniversary of the normalization of Vietnamese and American government. And the U.S. are building military capacity for Vietnam. And there are currently more than 30,000 Vietnamese students in the U.S. And I think that's thought from the speech from President Bill Clinton 25 years ago in Hanoi University. So my question is the human rights issue, is that the central issue, but is it the policy, long-term driving force that will determine and define the relationship between the U.S. and the Vietnamese government? Mr. Ambassador, is human rights just a token for bargaining between the U.S. and the Vietnamese government toward building a relationship to become ally?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your question. No, human rights issues are not just a token issue. It's not part of a bargain. As I mentioned, I firmly believe, and I'm guessing that many of you in this room believe as well, that as Americans, we hold these values and these freedoms and these principles dear. It's part of who we are. And we don't apologize for that, and I don't apologize for that. So it's natural that we would have differences over these issues, and it's natural that we're going to continue to raise them because that's who we are as Americans. But as I mentioned, we also believe that raising these issues is good for Vietnam and the Vietnamese people. Increasing respect for human rights and religious freedom in Vietnam will undoubtedly make Vietnam a better place to live and improve the lives of the Vietnamese people. And so these issues, as I said, they remain central to our foreign policy, to our engagement with Vietnam. Thank you.
Câu hỏi của ông đặt ra là chính sách về vấn đề mà buộc nhà cầm quyền Việt Nam Cộng sản phải tôn trọng nhân quyền, sử dụng cái chính sách đó để làm cái việc mà trao đổi hoặc là trả giá với phía Việt Nam hay không, thì ông đại sứ khẳng định là điều đó chúng tôi không làm điều đó. Chúng tôi chỉ cố gắng làm thế nào để đẩy mạnh được cái mối quan hệ giữa hai nước và từ đó xây dựng một mối quan hệ tương lai bền vững và tốt đẹp hơn. Lẽ đương nhiên cái việc mà tranh đấu cho nhân quyền là những giá trị mà nước Mỹ chúng ta đã yêu thương, đã chăm sóc từ bấy lâu nay, thì điều đó cũng là một trong những gì mà ông phải làm việc ở Việt Nam.
Thank you. We'll go to question over here.
Hi, Pastor. Thank you for being here. I'll give you a rapid fire question. Keep it short, okay? So, with Michael's case, why is it taking so long to bring him home? Are we not defending his right to due process? Because if we were, it would be faster, I think, in my opinion. So, when will we seek justice to?
Thank you. Well, here's what I can say. We're doing everything that we know to bring Michael home as soon as possible. And we're trying to do so in the most effective way possible, the fastest way possible.
Câu hỏi đặt ra là tại sao mất quá nhiều thời gian, mất quá lâu để có thể đưa ông Michael về lại Mỹ. Ông có thể cho biết được đến khi nào thì cái chuyện đó có xảy ra hay không? Ông chỉ nói là chúng tôi cố gắng bằng hết sức để có thể làm được điều đó, đưa ông về thôi, chứ còn về thời gian thì không thể nói khẳng định.
Particularly grateful to Helen and her family for coming here today, and it only further underscores what's at stake here. So it's very clear what needs to be done. We're doing everything that we know how to do. We'll continue to make this a top priority. I can guarantee you for that. I can't make any prediction on when we're going to succeed. We're going to do everything possible to bring him home as soon as we can. I give you my word.
Tôi không thể nào cho biết được cái thời gian, thời điểm nào mà tôi có thể đưa về, nhưng mà tôi cho thì chỉ có thể nói là chúng tôi cố gắng hết sức để có thể giúp đưa về.
I just echo that the time for Michael to have come home was yesterday, and that we understand that, and that we have been working on this issue. Michael is one of my constituents, and he is not here with us in this country today. He's not here with his family today. The ambassador, I want to commend him for being honest with you and with Helen, but he does not know exactly when Michael will come home. We all wish that we could tell you that that would be tomorrow. But it's hard, and I want to commend him for being honest with you about what we are up against. Your voices, raising Michael's case, coming together as a community, talking to the press, and making your voices heard. The ambassador has emphasized how important and helpful that is. So we are all part of the solution to bringing Michael home, but I am grateful that the ambassador has taken time each and every month, every time I have called him or his staff to answer questions. We are continuing to try to bring Michael home. We know that each day is one day too long.
Hội đã cho biết là lúc nào ai cũng muốn ông sẽ về nhà ngày mai cả, nhưng mà không thể được. Tôi chỉ muốn lời khen ngợi ông đại sứ là ít nhất ông cũng thành thật để trình bày về vấn đề này, và lúc nào chúng tôi cũng cố gắng làm việc để tìm ra phương cách để đưa ông về.
Thank you. Just so a reminder, we have 3 questions, actually 2 on this side and 3 on this side that we conclude. And then after the town hall, I want to let the members of the press and media know that we have a separate room for a press conference, and that will be exclusively with members of the press and media only. It will be on the 2nd floor. Our staff will direct you there. And so with that, I'd like to continue with the question over here.
Yes, I have a quick question for the ambassador. Thank you for the Michael. As a family friend, I know that he's sentenced for 12 years in prison. So, as a family friend, we visit him. If we have a chance to go back to Vietnam, or is there any effect if I go back to Vietnam to visit him? Can I get arrested too? That's my concern about Michael.
Okay. Just gotta make sure I understand. You wanted to know whether you could visit Michael, and then your last question, you were concerned about what might happen to you. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Nice. Well, let me say a couple of things again. We're going to continue to make this a top priority, without a doubt, to advocate for Michael's release every day.
Câu hỏi đặt ra của chị là nếu có cách nào tôi về thăm ông Michael Nguyễn hay không, và nếu mà tôi về thăm có chuyện gì xảy đến với chúng tôi hay không. Ông đại sứ chỉ nói là ông vẫn đang tiếp tục làm việc và vấn đề này là ưu tiên hàng đầu.
There are a lot of challenges and a lot of restrictions on who can and can't visit with someone who is incarcerated in the Vietnamese prison system.
Rất nhiều thử thách và rất nhiều vấn đề kiểm soát cho ai có thể vào thăm được tù nhân.
We worked very hard and with some success to try to make exceptions to those rules and to arrange visits when we can.
Tôi chỉ cố gắng làm việc làm thế nào để có cái sự biệt lệ đối với những cái quy định khắt khe đó.
And I guess all I could say on the spot is I think what I would want to do is coordinate very closely with the family and with their representatives to make requests about visits, just to make sure that if we're going to request a visit, that we, based on the assumption that arranging such visits will be challenging, that we prioritize the visits that we want to have. That's the main point. So we'll stay in close touch with the family on that, and I would encourage you to do the same. That would be my reaction on the spot.
Chúng tôi tiếp tục làm việc trực tiếp và liên lạc với gia đình, thế nhưng vẫn phải làm việc với các đại diện thành viên của Quốc hội để đưa ra để bà yêu cầu để khi nào có thực hiện được một cái chuyến thăm trong tuần mà thôi.
On your second question about whether you have any concern about your safety in Vietnam, I would say a couple of things.
Vấn đề mà câu hỏi đặt ra là chỉ có mối quan tâm về vấn đề cá nhân mình khi về thăm Việt Nam hay không?
There are, of course, hundreds of thousands of Americans who visit Vietnam every year, including many Vietnamese Americans who who had great experiences and no problems.
Có hàng trăm ngàn người Việt hoặc là người công dân Mỹ về Việt Nam hàng năm.
But if you do look at the State Department website for guidance on travelers to Vietnam, you will see some explicit guidance in there that because of the situation that we've seen with Michael and in some other cases, we do particularly want Vietnamese Americans to be cognizant of those issues and in some of those cases.
Nếu chị lên trên trang mạng của Bộ Ngoại giao Hoa Kỳ sẽ thấy có những quy định được đề ra đối với những người nào vào trong Việt Nam thăm viếng.
So I'd encourage you to look at that guidance. I don't know, you mentioned, have you been to Vietnam before?
Yes.
Okay. So I would just say take a look at that guidance. If you have any particular concerns, you could reach out to me or to Sharon or to our colleagues in the consular department.
Nếu quý vị khi mà muốn về Việt Nam có quan tâm thì cứ liên lạc với tôi cũng như là nhân viên của tôi.
We want to promote travel and interaction between the United States and Vietnam.
Chúng tôi muốn ủng hộ và vận động cổ động cho cái chuyện mà du lịch về Việt Nam.
We want to promote business. We want to promote tourism. We want to promote the ability of Vietnamese Americans to go back home and visit friends and relatives and places that are interested in them.
Không những du lịch mà còn làm ăn cho cả hai bên nữa.
And it's in Vietnam's interest to make sure that every American visits Vietnam is treated well and their safety is guaranteed.
Và một trong những quyền lợi của phía Việt Nam đó là phải bảo đảm công dân Mỹ được đối xử một cách tốt đẹp.
I guarantee we'll continue to advocate for the rights of American citizens in Vietnam.
Tôi bảo đảm quyền của công dân Mỹ khi về Việt Nam.
And we'll continue to make clear to the government of Vietnam what their responsibilities are.
Và bảo đảm là phía Việt Nam hiểu rõ trách nhiệm của họ như thế nào đối với công dân Mỹ.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. I'll put your question on this side.
Mr. Ambassador and representatives of the Congress, my name is VanHoaNBLV. I raise this question on behalf of the Vietnamese pastor in Southern California. We have a colleague who is in Vietnam, Pastor Miền, who advocate for religious freedom and social justice. He has been sentenced 12 years in prison since 2017. Our question is, would you be able to work with the Vietnamese government to release Pastor Cone from prison? Because we believe that we are past the call to speak up for religious freedom and social justice.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, well, can I ask you, my friend Pastor, could you please pass the details of this case if you have it there to my colleague Sharon?
Yes, I already did.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Happy to work with you.
Chúng tôi chỉ muốn lên tiếng dùng cho các vị mục sư trong giáo hội Tin Lành, đặc biệt là mục sư Nguyễn Trung Tôn bị tù từ 2017 chỉ vì mục tiêu là tranh đấu cho tự do tín ngưỡng mà thôi. Tôi muốn hỏi là làm thế nào, ông có cách nào làm việc với phía Việt Nam Cộng sản để tìm cách trả tự do cho mục sư không? Ông chỉ cho biết là ông ấy đưa cái thiện nguyện thư của ông đối với cho nhân viên là sao?
Thank you. We'll go to question on this side.
Kritenbrink. My name is Ifit. I would like to ask about religious freedom. So currently, still have many house churches in the central highland of Vietnam. So they don't have like freedom to practice their religion, and they still get harassment from the government and not allowed, give the permission for them to practice. So what are you doing, and what will you do, like for the people there to put the pressure on the government to improve the religious freedom better in the central and for the minority group? Thank you.
Well, thank you for your question. Our position, simply put, is that every single person, every human being, including in Vietnam, has certain universal rights to practice their religion and their religious beliefs, whatever they may be, freely and without interference.
Câu hỏi đặt ra là cái quyền tự do tôn giáo trong nước, nhất là đối với những cộng đồng người thiểu số vẫn còn vô cùng hạn hẹp. Làm thế nào để chính phủ Hoa Kỳ có thể tạo thêm các áp lực để có thêm quyền tự do tôn giáo? Thì vị đại sứ cho biết ông vẫn tiếp tục mà đẩy mạnh cái công việc này và tạo thêm các áp lực đối với phía Việt Nam.
We do raise issues regarding religious freedom and those things we may have in the Central Highlands as well.
Đặc biệt là các vùng cao nguyên trung vận vẫn được đặt ra về vấn đề tự do tôn giáo này.
And we'll continue to do so.
Và vẫn tiếp tục làm
If you have something specific that you'd like us to raise a particular case, you can pass it to my colleague Sharon, and we'll do that. I'm sorry, Representative Lowenthal, you had help.
Nếu anh có bất cứ một cái trường hợp khác biệt nào thì liên lạc với nhân viên chúng tôi.
Yeah, we have been in our office and also in the Congress and the Vietnamese caucus have been very concerned about the lack of religious freedom in the highlands. We adopted as a prisoner of conscience Pastor Wincom Jin, who was the pastor in the highlands, who was incarcerated by the Vietnamese government, and we fought for his release, and he's one of the 3 prisoners of conscience that recently we had released. But we're very much aware that there's tremendous discrimination in the highlands towards the pastors, and we're working to try to release all those pastors.
Dân biểu Lowenthal cho biết là họ đang làm việc về vấn đề này, tìm cách để mà trả tự do cho 3 người, trong đó có vị mục sư tại cái khu vực cao nguyên trung vận và tiếp tục làm việc này.
Okay, we have 2 more last questions. We'll go to this side now.
Good afternoon, Ambassador and all U.S. representatives. First of all, I just want to say thank you for giving human rights is the focal point of the Vietnamese and also thank you for really helping the case of Michael Quyền. I know that we more than he's a champion and everybody else. Now my question is, we've been doing a lot. You guys need to do it, so thank you for that. And we have a lot of support from elected officials, from senator, from the embassy. But the fact of the matter is, Michael is still there. He's still in prison. So what else can we do? I know that we talk passionately about you want to do more, but what else can we do? It's development. It doesn't work. What else can we do from a business perspective, from a aid perspective, from a house and needs perspective, because you guys can blow the budget and you guys can suddenly demand and ask for something a lot more. Because you know what? No one can dare to say no. So the question is, what can you do a little bit more forcefully so that we can bring the Bible? Thank you.
Well, thank you. Look, we're going to do everything we know how to do and everything possible to bring Michael home as quickly as possible.
Câu hỏi đặt ra là có thêm cách nào nữa để chính phủ Hoa Kỳ tạo thêm các áp lực để mà có thể tìm tự do? Ông đại sứ chỉ nói rằng tôi vẫn phải tiếp tục làm việc và tìm bằng mọi phương cách có thể làm được để mà mai không về.
Some of that, as the U.S. executive branch, some of that we do in private, some of that we do public.
Một số cách chúng tôi làm việc một cách rất là trọng mà chúng tôi nhưng mà riêng tư, một cách làm việc không có ai dám phản kháng. Tổng thống Trump nếu mà đối thêm áp lực thì sẽ có kết quả hơn. Nhất là chúng tôi vẫn phải tiếp tục làm việc chặt chẽ với các thành viên của Quốc hội. Và đó là một lý do chúng tôi có mặt ở đây để làm việc chung với quý vị.
So we're committed to doing everything we can, and I look forward to staying in close touch with the members of Congress and with all of you to try to find the way to bring him home as soon as possible.
Một lần nữa vẫn tiếp tục phải làm việc và phải làm việc chung với các thành viên của họ.
And I just want to add that there was a time when we were receiving almost very limited information about what was happening with Michael. That was very, very hard on the family, and waiting for his sentencing, his trial. There were a lot of concerns for me as an American, as a lawyer, as someone who was committed to human rights about how that process happened. Now that he has been sentenced, we are able to make a strong humanitarian case for bringing him home. So there was a process that we pressed during that process at every stage. But we are now very hopeful that they will consider the humanitarian harms as well as the harms of the bilateral relationship by continuing to hold Michael. So I feel more optimistic today than I did a year ago, although I recognize that this has been a very difficult, long year for our Vietnamese American community and for his family in particular to wait. But know that in the private meeting that the ambassador had with Michael's family, that we came up with additional ideas and additional strategies that we can try to use. So that conversation and coming up with those ideas, it continued today, and it's going to continue tomorrow, and it will continue every day till Michael is back home in our community in Orange County.
Mặc dù tôi biết rằng là cái này khó khăn vô cùng cho gia đình ông Michael, nhưng mà kể từ khi ông đã bị chính thức có án tù, thì tôi hy vọng ngày hôm nay hơn là một năm trước rằng chúng tôi sẽ đặt vấn đề nhân đạo đối với phía Việt Nam để cố gắng đưa ông về, và ngày hôm nay có thêm nhiều cái cánh cửa mở ra về chiến lược cũng như phương cách để giúp đưa ông Michael về được.
Yes, briefly, Congressman.
Thank you. I would add to this discussion on human rights, whether it's an individual or the egregious acts that we see repeatedly occur to numerous citizens in Vietnam. We have seen the economic interaction between our two countries grow exponentially from approximately $500 million in trade around 2000 to $50 billion now. We have seen the tariffs instituted on China result in a benefit to Vietnam, where we have seen factories and orders move to Vietnam. It is time for the United States government to start leveraging those economic relationships to bring people out of prison and bring them back to the United States.
Just before I call on Councilman Fatwood for the last question, I just want to say that if you have remaining questions that you don't get to ask today, but if you can give me your question and your contact, I'll do my best to get you a response from the State Department after the town hall, so then you will get a response as well. I understand time is limited, and now I'd like to ask Councilman Fatwood from Cedar Garden go over the last question for the Q&A.
Thank you, Mr. Fong. I also like to add that in addition to being the Garden City Councilman, I'm also the elected chairman of the Vietnamese Federation of Southern California. Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for being here and members of Congress for championing human rights for the Vietnamese Americans and the Vietnamese backbone. Over the past 25 years since the U.S. established diplomatic relationship with Vietnam, and 13 years ago after we support Vietnam to join the WTO World Trade Organization, human rights does not improve at all. In fact, it becomes worse and worse every year. So it is very clear to us that our policy, the U.S. policy and U.S. actions does not work at all. It's been failing. We certainly have hope, but with what's going on, it does not work. So my question is, with President Trump, negotiate with strength, how do you see the U.S. will do differently so that the human rights violation will be less, and that human rights and democracy will be fostering in Vietnam? Thank you.
Thank you, Representative, for your question. Sorry. Thank you, Representative, for your question and your comment.
Chúng tôi chỉ cảm ơn cái câu hỏi cũng như là cái lời nhận định của ông. Ông Pháp Bùi cho biết là kể từ 13 năm khi mà Việt Nam tham gia vào tổ chức贸易thế giới WTO, tình trạng nhân quyền vẫn không cải thiện. Làm thế nào việc Hoa Kỳ phải làm gì khác đi để có thể cải thiện được cái tình trạng nhân quyền và tự do của Việt Nam?
I'm trying to make clear today that our advocacy for human rights and religious freedom remains a priority and will continue to
Tôi chỉ nhắc lại đó là vấn đề ưu tiên chiến đấu hàng đầu và phải tiếp tục được hướng tới.
I've tried to talk very candidly about the concerns that many of us see in Vietnam and what we're trying to do to improve the conditions there.
Tôi nói rất là rõ ràng và thành thật về những gì hiện trạng hiện nay ở Việt Nam.
I continue to believe that engaging for the long term with Vietnam, including on these very important issues, gives us our best chance of success going forward.
Tôi vẫn tin tưởng làm việc lâu dài với phía Việt Nam sẽ mang cái cơ hội mở ra tốt đẹp hơn.
I've tried to be very clear about what the challenges are, some of the egregious actions that we've seen on the part of the Vietnamese government that we protest.
Tôi đã nói rất là rõ về những thử thách mà chúng tôi đang phải đương đầu đối với phía Việt Nam.
I do feel obligated to convey to you, though, I've heard from many activists in Vietnam as well.
Tôi đã thấy có một cái sự bó buộc, bắt buộc và trách nhiệm khi mà nói đến những thành viên bị giam giữ ở Việt Nam.
What virtually all of them have told me, including some who have suffered the most in Vietnam over the years, is that they think things are improving in Vietnam and that they think U.S. advocacy has helped to bring that about.
Một số người họ vẫn tin tưởng là có một cái sự cải thiện nào đó để có thể giúp đẩy mạnh cái tiến trình này.
These are people who suffered. They know better than I do. They know that sometimes it's 2 steps forward and 1 step back, or 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. But they continue to believe that over the long run that there have been significant improvements, and they're grateful for the advocacy of the United States that they believe has helped to bring that about.
Ngay cả những người chiến đấu trong nước họ biết mặc dù chúng ta đôi khi đi bước một bước rồi lùi 3 bước nhưng mà vẫn phải tiếp tục trong cái thời gian lâu dài mới có thể đạt được cái tiến trình này.
So personally, that's what's inspired me is continue the work that we're doing, because the people on the ground with the most at stake have told us that they think it makes a difference and a positive difference, and that they're optimistic that long-term advocacy can have an impact.
Bởi vì trận đấu này vẫn phải tập trung đối với những người hiện nay đang bị trù dập ở trong nước.
We are not going to de-emphasize the importance of human rights in this.
Chúng ta sẽ không có thể lơ là trong vấn đề này.
I will continue to raise these issues personally every day.
Tôi tiếp tục cá nhân tôi đặt ra vấn đề này áp lực mỗi ngày.
I and my staff will continue to meet regularly with activists in Vietnam who are working to bring about a better Vietnam.
Và tôi cùng với các nhân viên của ngoại giao vẫn tiếp tục làm việc chung với những nhà tranh đấu ở trong nước.
I'm happy to exchange ideas with you, and if you have specific suggestions or activities that you think would be effective, I'm more than happy to consider those. But I really just wanted to emphasize how committed we are to these issues, but I also wanted to share with you what I've heard from so many Vietnamese activists that I've met with.
Và tôi sẵn sàng chia sẻ với quan điểm của anh. Nếu bạn thấy có những cái gì cải thiện tốt đẹp hơn, xin chia sẻ điều đó với chúng tôi. Nhưng tôi vẫn phải tiếp tục làm việc và nghe được những cái điều tốt từ phía ở trong nước.
And if I can also just emphasize, once again, I really am grateful to all the members of Congress here today.
Cảm ơn những thành viên của Quốc hội có mặt ngày hôm nay.
I think this is probably the closest that I've ever had an opportunity to work with members of Congress, and I've been so impressed by their dedication to these issues.
Đây là thời điểm mà chúng tôi đã làm việc gần gũi nhất với các thành viên của Quốc hội hiện nay.
And I think, as you know, members of Congress have certain capabilities and options available to them that some of us in the executive branch don't have, and I think that together we can continue to work as partners to advance our common interests related to human rights.
Vì lý do là thành viên của Quốc hội họ có những khả năng để có thể biến việc này thành hiện thực. Đó là lý do tôi phải làm việc chung với các thành viên của Quốc hội.
Đại sứ có buổi gặp gỡ với lại báo chí.
Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you, everyone for session. Before we close, though, I really want to say that even though we are about half an hour over time, but we do want to ask each member of Congress just very briefly just to give a close-out statement, and then Ambassador just so that we close out, and then after the press conference, after the town hall here, press and media are invited to a press conference up in room 206 on the second floor. Again, this will be just reserved for press and media only, because I know press and media might have questions that they have been asked to wait for everyone else to ask the question first. And I'd like to start the closing statement with the brief closing statement with Congressman Lowenthal.
Talking about what he sees on the ground and his working and his real commitment to human rights and his belief that things are getting better. I don't have as much optimism as he does. I believe that there has been a downturn in human rights in Vietnam. I also believe that at one time the United States government had Vietnam listed as a country of particular concern by CPC and put trade restrictions on them until they got demonstrated that they would get better. They did get somewhat better. We lifted it, but now Vietnam has moved in the opposite direction. I think that we should be looking at issues like CPC and other issues. I really appreciate how hard the State Department and the ambassador has worked, and I think they have been great strides, but it's not enough. And I think that we should really put more pressure on Vietnam.
Thưa Biểu Luân, tôi chỉ muốn nói là mặc dù những cái lời mà lạc quan của ông đại sứ đã được đưa ra, tuy nhiên đối với ông đó tình trạng vẫn không có tiến triển chút nào cả. Vì thế ông mong rằng tất cả những gì hiện hữu ngày hôm nay đã tạo thêm các áp lực, và đặc biệt đối với ông đại sứ này để tiếp tục thăng tiến cái tình trạng mà vi phạm nhân quyền và dân chủ của Việt Nam hiện nay.
I'd like to go to Congressman Harley Rouda first, and then we'll save the ambassador for last.
Thank you to everyone for coming today, and thank you for the opportunity to serve you.
Thank you, Congressman. Congresswoman Katie Porter.
I just want to thank each one of you for being present, for sending a signal to the ambassador about how important the work is that he is doing. It is an incredible privilege for us to have him here, and the ability for you to make your voices heard directly to him so that he can carry your concerns and your stories forward as he serves our country in Vietnam.
Ambassador Kritenbrink.
I just want to thank all of you for coming today, for spending time here, and for being so honest and candid about your views and your concerns. And I also want to say what you've said to me has had a big impact on me, and I think it will help me to do my job better and help us to advance our shared interests. I'm very proud of the great work that our Vietnamese American community has done to build our great country. And I value your views and your opinions. I look forward to staying in close touch.
Tất cả những gì quý vị đóng góp ngày hôm nay đã giúp cho tôi làm công việc một cách tốt đẹp hơn.
Just before we close out, on behalf of all the officers, I do want to say thank you to everyone, and I want to apologize that we didn't have enough time to accommodate everyone's question and comment. We ask for your forgiveness, and we appreciate you coming, and thank you again, and have a good rest of the day.